Meghan Markle here.
Richard Eden is using Kate's cancer to promote a newsletter. That's not journalism, that's exploitation. And he only finds online abuse outrageous when he can use it to smear Meghan Markle. Sussex, transparent, disgusting, predictable. 3 minutes. Screenshots, okay?
Princess Catherine had the most traumatic year of her life.
Oh, God.
And her cancer battle was made only worse by some of the terrible abuse and mockery that she received online from some of Prince Harry and Meghan's most outspoken and unpleasant supporters.
But then her family says she didn't have cancer. Her own sister, from what I've heard, said that. Let me put allegedly, I don't know. But it was online saying that she didn't have cancer. But anyway, let's continue.
I've looked into this, the new Palace Confidential newsletter, and while Catherine was receiving treatment and going through some of her hardest times, she was also having to face this barrage of really nasty abuse and mockery online. For more royal insights, comment newsletter, and I'll send you all the details of how to sign up.
Richard Eden, you are an opportunistic parasite. You don't give a damn about Kate Middleton's health,
Parasite.
her privacy, or her peace. What you care about is email signups, click-through rates, and monetizing her illness to push your tired tabloid trash to an equally tired audience. You're not a journalist. You're a gossip merchant who stumbled into the palace gates by clout-chasing cancer updates. And let's really talk about this latest stunt. You're pretending to be Kate's white knight, crying crocodile tears about mockery and abuse from Meghan and Harry supporters, while actively platforming and profiting from the same vitriol that drove Meghan to suicidal ideation when she was pregnant and hounded by your industry. Where were these fragile feelings while Meghan was being compared to a monkey by a BBC host? Where was your outrage when the Daily Fail was dissecting her womb and her wedding and her fucking avocados? The truth is, you don't care about online abuse unless it can be weaponized against Meghan. You're not protecting Kate. You're exploiting her, just like you exploited Meghan. And just like you'd exploit a puff of royal perfume if it meant boosting your signups. And don't act like this abuse only comes from Meghan fans, because we've all seen the receipts. The death threats Meghan gets, the slurs, the deep fakes, the constant racist bile, and she's never gotten a single ounce of your sympathy. Not one. Why? Because you're not covering the royals? You're covering for the royals. You're not here to report facts. You're here to carry water for an institution that feeds off Meghan's dehumanization. So your moral panic can kiss my ass, and your fake compassion can suck it. You're not here to protect women. You're here to package their pain into profit. And if Kate is going through the hardest year of her life, then shame on you for using that to boost your brand. Say it with me. Richard Eden doesn't care about Kate. Richard Eden cares about Richard Eden. Period. This man isn't a journalist. He's a royal PR mouthpiece with an agenda. And you'd be a fool to think otherwise.
Alright, let's see some of the comments here. Let's pause this. He's asking people to sign up for a newsletter. Embarrassing. This clown is hungry. Camel gig, not working out. It seems Richard is a parasite and did. Despicable grifter. Maureen, the palace shit bucket, look disgusting and desperate. Diabolical conduct. Richard Eden, period. After all this, no one will read it. There's the rolling eye. Boo-hoo, bitchy Rick. I was waiting to hear In the Arms of an Angel background music like he was going to ask for donation for some animal charity. Alright, let's leave that, go to the next tweet. Alright, pause. The algorithm have sent me notification from the Rangers, mind-blowing. Their delusion should be studied. They seem to feel that Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan might be wanting to return back from their loving, peaceful, beautiful home where they are financially independent, mentally healthy, and surrounded by people that support and love them, to the toxic, mentally and financially controlling royal family, who even now continue to try to abuse them from afar with their royal road of reporters and various tools behind closed doors. What kind of a mad projection is this? Okay, so she retweeted that 2016. This said 2016, but I think it was posted 2 days ago. Let's go into it, and then I'll come back out to see what other people are saying, because that's a retweet. 2016. Damn, there isn't enough money to feed and dress Meghan. She will have to keep her employment while carrying out royal duties too, to be able to support after herself. I believe that was Charles who said that to Harry. Was that in Spare? I think I have some part of it where Harry was explaining that. Here it is.
Driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg. Not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Say again. Does she want to keep on acting? Oh, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, you know, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, you know there's not enough money to go around. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name, because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above? Charles and Camilla? It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. I turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa didn't financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. It was suddenly clear to me that this wasn't about money. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really couldn't stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him, and Camilla. He'd lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again.
Okay, and then let's not forget, during her engagement, she told the world, and well, the royal family, I'm sure, was aware. All right, she spoke about leaving Suits. She's been there for 7 years. It's a new chapter. She's moving forward and all of that. And she wanted to work with Harry. The whole thing was clear. Harry and Meghan made it clear. Okay, so that's the part from their engagement that I'm making reference to.
I am very excited about that, yeah.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes, you'd been an ambassador for UN Women. What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I mean, I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate, I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do.
Really?
There's a lot to do.
And it's an immense change. You're getting a new country out of it, a husband obviously, but also giving up your
nice,
career.
Yes, that's nice. Yes. But I don't see it as giving anything up. I just see it as a change.
It's a new challenge.
It's a new chapter, right? And also keep in mind, I've been working on my show for 7 years. So we were very, very fortunate to be able to have that sort of longevity on a series. And for me, once we hit the 100 episode marker, I thought, you know what, I have ticked this box, and I feel really proud of the work I've done there. And now it's time to, as you said, work as a team with you.
Okay, back to this. 2025, then Meghan is trying to call back to the royal family purely for financial reasons. Me and the rest of the thinking people, the royal family never supported her financially in the first place. So what reason will she be calling back for? She was never on the payroll. Yeah, when it comes to with the mental health issue, they claim that she was not an employee. They didn't know how to treat that. And
it wasn't long after the wedding before you became pregnant. What was your reaction when you learned that the child was a boy?
Enormous relief. I felt the whole country was in labour with me. And enormous relief. But I had actually known William was going to be a boy because the scan had shown it, so of course no surprise.
How did the rest of the royal family react when they learnt that the child that you were to have was going to be a boy?
Well, everybody was thrilled to bits. It has been quite a difficult pregnancy. I hadn't been very well throughout it. So by the time William arrived, there was great relief because it was all peaceful again, and I was well for a time. Then I was unwell with postnatal depression, which no one ever discusses postnatal depression. You have to read about it afterwards, and that in itself was a bit of a difficult time. You'd wake up in the morning feeling you didn't want to get out of bed, you felt misunderstood, and just very, very low in yourself.
Was this completely out of character for you?
Yes, very much so. I've never had a depression in my life. But then when I analysed it, I could see that the changes I'd made in the last year had all caught up with me, and my body had said, we want a rest.
What was the family's reaction to your postnatal depression?
Well, maybe I was the first person ever to be in this family who ever had a depression or was ever openly tearful. And obviously that was daunting, because if you've never seen it before, how do you support it?
These people are savage. That's all I know. Okay, make it make sense. There's that. Let's read some of the okay, so let's read all of that and then go back. Support herself. Okay, she fixed herself somewhere here. Whoever tweeted the caption up there, I think making a correction. And yet Kate had nannies, cooks, housekeeper, etc. to help her. She has never worked, and apart from cutting a few ribbons and tipping up at a few lunches and dinners, she has certainly not worked since marrying William. The hypocrisy astounding. Abolish the monarchy. But, the balcony. You know, I think as we see all of this boiling up, it's like something is about to, like, burst, where some people is not gonna give a shit. It's just a matter of time. While these people, I think they feel like they have everything under control. And I've said in past videos, they were waiting for America. Okay, they started from down south, capture those government and get control of all of that, and then they reach up here. What is it? I spoke about Canada. I said Canada needs to be very careful. Their last election, it could be like a 2020 version of America, but these people are still working, you know, looking at the sentiment of the people so they could divide and conquer. Okay, and then put that type of people into as prime minister in Canada. So I said, Canada better be careful. Use America as an example. And in terms of South America, they got to, how do you call this? What is it? Mexico. Okay, they got that woman, I forgot her name. Sorry if I said that woman, but I don't remember her name. The president of Mexico right now, 2025, who's holding her end of the bargain for the people the right way. So Mexico needs to be very careful as well. You need someone like this to look out for you. Unlike some other past, I don't know, those men, when they get in power, I don't know what's wrong with them. But she's doing a wonderful job from the outside, okay? I'm not in Mexico, never been to Mexico, but from the outside, in terms of political, things, she holds her own very well against Trump and all of that. So they're moving up. They're trying to capture everything. But anyway, she and her baby had no security in the UK unless they were with Harry. After they were told Charles will support them for a year, she was with her husband and baby in Canada when security was removed from her husband within a few weeks of that agreement. Let that sink in. Yeah, they break the agreement. Everything, like I've said in past video, everything you see that's happening, okay, they put Harry and Meghan and the Sussexes in that situation. And then the Sussexes make the best of whatever decision the palace made, and they carve out their own path within that decision. They wanted 50-50. The palace said no. Either you in or you out. And then they choose you all out. So what were they supposed to do? They said they had no money for her, but also told her to quit her effing job. Yeah. There's the laugh here. And then for the other one who had nanny, people to help her for everything, she should have enough time to do some initiative for the people. All right, so let's go back. So this is where I started. Okay, so there's only one comment here. Okay, a lot of it is engagement farming. Take a look in their mention. 99% are blue checks who agree with them to keep the clicks rolling or say more outrageous thing for the same reason. Meghan's name is paying their bills. That's why I don't even bother following them. Next tweet. Alright, so this is a video the squad put. I'm not gonna go through all of that. Okay, so discover here. It's up to here. Alright, let's pause that. This pointing down here is what some want to change but could never. If you want to call Princess Meghan, Sussex Meghan Markle, she is still authentic, down to earth, a beauty inside and out, and relevant to the young, the older folks. Check this video out. Prince Harry and Meghan Archwell. Alright, let's listen. 1 minute and 4 seconds. Screenshot in between.
Meghan Markle is enchanting all of us. At every single public appearance, she has connected with the crowds. Look at how she firmly grips the hands of well-wishers, something the royals usually avoid. She especially connects with youngsters. She's a hugger, too. Look what happened when Harry introduced her to a 10-year-old girl. Meghan has traveled the world as a humanitarian.
I am tremendously honored to be UN Women's advocate for political participation and leadership.
I'm in the same room as the royal couple right now.
She really seemed down to earth when she visited a radio station in South London.
I can see why your show is so popular, because you're so thoughtful in the approach, but also so engaging to listen to.
Down to earth, engaged with common folks, a beauty inside and out, an American princess making her mark on the world stage.
Alright, let's read some of the comments here. Meghan showed those Madame Tussauds wax museum figures, Windsors, and icy palaces what humanity is. They melted, and that's why we are here. Okay, that's an ad. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. Harry and Meghan. The video said they didn't oh my god, this one is 5 minutes, close to 6 minutes. The video said they didn't shake hands until Meghan started doing it. Okay, it must be sucked watching a woman being praised for her accomplishment. That's the nail polish, yeah? No sign of Harry. That's because Meghan's legacy is enchained to a man like the mumbling coat hanger. Angela, the angry relic. I'll make you relevant for today. Mark Gold. I bet you she won't quote me no more. All right, almost 6 minutes. Let's see here. I hope there's no music.
Angela Levin is the perfect example of what happens when you age, but never grow. A bitter, tired relic from a time when women were expected to play nice and mind their business. Except she missed the memo on the mind your business part. Every waking moment of her irrelevant existence seems dedicated to stalking Harry and Meghan like a creepy ex who can't move on. Sis is one tweet away from turning into a full-blown tabloid ghostwriter with a shrine in her attic. And the irony? The woman has no legacy of her own. No confirmed children. No real accomplishments. Just decades of secondhand relevance built off clinging to royal drama, like it's an unpaid internship in hell. Angela Levin isn't a journalist. She's a professional hater in pearls, clocking in daily to obsess over a woman who wouldn't even flinch if she walked past her on the street. She's so invested in Meghan's children you'd think she gave birth to them herself. Meanwhile, not a single sign of her own family, her own joy, her own anything. And maybe, just maybe, God never blessed her with children because he knew the world didn't need another generation raised with that level of bile and bitterness. Because what kind of soul torments others for a living, then calls it commentary? That's not reporting. That's rotting from the inside out. If she does have kids, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep her name off their bios, Christmas cards, and gravestones out of pure embarrassment. Because who wants to claim a mother who spends her twilight years projecting hatred onto people who found peace and happiness outside the monarchy's shackles? Angela's not wise, respected, or relevant. She's just loud, bitter, and clinging to a false sense of superiority like it's the last crown jewel. History won't remember her. It will forget her, as it should. It's giving. No man, no life, no children, no job and no purpose. Just recycled hate and empty books no one's buying. How you older than sliced bread, but still can't act your age. You spend your time foaming at the mouth over a couple who pays you dust. Meghan blinked once in 2020 and Angela's still writing 5-page essays about it like it's her job, which it kinda is, because she clearly has no real journalistic credibility left. Let's be honest. Angela Levin's entire personality is, I wrote a book about Harry before he glowed up and left the monarchy, and now I'm mad I'm not on speed dial. Ma'am, you had one outdated interview and spun it into a career of obsession. That's not journalism. That's fan fiction with hate sprinkled on top. It's giving. I'm jealous Meghan is everything I could never be. Educated, beautiful, impactful, and booked without kissing royal ass. It's giving. I got left behind in a royal press pack and now I tweet bitterness for clout. It's giving. Please someone validate my hate campaign so I don't disappear into the dust. You're not a royal expert. You're a royal parasite. You leech off their names because nobody cares what you think unless it's soaked in Harry and Meghan hate. You wake up angry. You tweet like a rejected Daily Mail intern. And you sit there in your granny chair projecting your unfulfilled dreams onto a woman who minds her business, raises her babies, and secures million-dollar deals while you fumble for retweets and quotes. Angela, take a nap. Take a walk. Take some knitting lessons. Do literally anything else except waste your final decades spewing vitriol over a couple that outgrew a toxic institution and are thriving while you're stuck yelling at clouds in the quote tweets. You're not upholding truth. You're not brave for being nasty. You're just loud, tired, and pressed because your relevance depends on two people who don't acknowledge an old racist cockroach like you.
Savage AF. Savage. Savage AF.
There's a music there. I'm gonna pretty much change it. But when this came out, I believe that was it Netherlands? What was that? Was it Netherlands or Germany? I think it was Netherlands. Oh my God, the Avengers were going crazy. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan were fooling around. Harry did his part, then Meghan went, and it was so much fun. So I was so enjoying sharing those videos with you. But let's continue. See, there's Harry doing his part here. It was so much fun. And then usually after when Meghan finished her part, and then Harry was waiting for her at the end, the way Meghan was, just laughing. Alright, so I was on my phone looking at some other thing. I might add one more on the list I just saw on my phone. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. That audio was pretty loud. I'm gonna have to mute it. Okay, so there's this GIF here. Meghan is not interested in coming back to the UK to do anything. And let me tell you one thing. The Rangers are having a field day with their lies and stupidity. But in the coming weeks, they're going to be very pissed because a lot of things are coming up for Meghan. I mean, like JTB said in one of his videos, is that if you're buying or listening to their nonsense, we are part of the problem as well, because they need engagement. So they're creating any lies to just have engagement. We just need to ignore them. Meghan has to tattoo it to her forehead at this point. One will think someone among the deranged clan will say, wait a minute, but no, every publication has a variation of the Harry and Meghan stink, and at Netflix is shutting them down. As usual, they have their little snickering before then they are so mad afterwards, scrambling to harass companies or people when a Sussex project is revealed. I think people are getting bored of the drama now. It's old hat, something new coming up for Meghan. I mean, we already know. There's a lot of things in the works. We already know Harry and Meghan are partnered with Netflix. So all the noise the other ones are making is just noise. But one thing I've said in the past, and I'm still sticking by it, it's not me trying to tell them what to do. I mean, what am I gonna do? Harry and Meghan have been doing their own thing. But at one point, I think they need to have their own network, okay, where they could have full control of everything. Because what I'm seeing is happening here, like one of the tweets that I read, I don't know if I'm gonna turn this into two parts, is that where the firm, since they can't control Harry and Meghan, so they're gonna try to control the narrative around them. And we've seen one of the reasons, I think, Colbert, the late night show, was Stephen Colbert's show was canceled for some reason. I do not know why. It had something to do with him interviewing Harry, especially one part where Harry said, like, I'll show you, I think I have the clip, that part.
So again, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is every word in that book is mine. And I realized that especially...
What do you mean by that?
Because the amount of unnamed sources that have fed information to the British tabloids about me and my wife and my family.
You have a source,
true
and it's you.
and not true. I am the source of that book.
They were pissed about it. They want people to not associate with Harry and Meghan. But sometimes we have to do the pushback to have the change. And it's very sad we put ourselves in this situation. But to have the change, we need to do the pushback, resistance. So I think this is why they cancel him. They cancel his show. I don't know if, I don't watch it every night, but occasionally here and there. But I think there's some connection to that in some shape or form. in my humble opinion. Alright, I think people are getting bored of the drama now. It's all hat. Something new coming up for Meghan, which seems to last all of a nanosecond before it's over, and speculation is with memoir return to royal family. Best advice would be to lay low for a few years doing good work. Okay, the only booze it will appear is directed toward those lazy vacationing. Well, the tabloid not talking about it. I think there was some memo that was put out from the palace, like, don't talk about certain things, otherwise you're not gonna know. They create something like they're not gonna tell them about another project to report on, so they comply. Oh my god. And his hand reading housewife Meg is happily in California with her men and kids, unbothered by you salty losers. Alright, after this, that's it. Them clinging on the hating Meghan is indicative of their financial prospect in UK. If they don't talk smack about Meghan, they don't eat. It's very sad. Just shows you how useless wank William and Kate are, that they cannot generate money, wealth for their followers. Sad, really. Alright, is that it? Well, was that a bit tweet? So that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, this is not on my list. I don't want to talk about him. Okay, we already said why he's working with Charles, because he get, the Princess Trust sort of help him and things like that. So it's not on my list. I don't want to focus on it. Next one, the fact that there are still people convinced Meghan wore a moon bump just proves some of you shouldn't be allowed on the internet without a helmet. Stay mad, stay stupid. Okay, you thought Meghan faked her pregnancy? Or you dumber than I thought. 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Truly find hilarious. The same people who believe Meghan wore a moon bump are the ones who still can't spell Duchess without autocorrect. Let's talk about it. You sit there on your stained couch, half a Dorito in your hair, scrolling through Facebook conspiracy groups like it's intelligence gathering, convinced that a woman who married into royalty, gave birth in a hospital, had medical records, photos, interviews, witnesses, somehow managed to pull off an entire fake pregnancy with a silicone prop like she's on a low-budget crime drama. You're fucking stupid. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as factual, documented, observable reality. You're not bright. You lack critical thinking. You confuse your paranoia with perfection. You confuse your hate with research. And you confuse your loser-ass hobby of tearing down a woman you'll never meet with actual purpose. That's the saddest part. You think a royal protection officer, a full hospital staff, senior aides, global press, and the actual palace would all participate in a baby cosplay plot just to satisfy Meghan's imaginary ego? Please, be for fucking real. What you're saying out loud is that she faked 2 pregnancies, fooled the world, and you, a woman named Debbie, with 12 followers and a Kate Middleton stan account, cracked the case. That's what you're saying. That's what you want credit for. Sweetheart, seek help. It's not even about Meghan at this point. It's about you. Your brain is broken. You're committed to this fantasy because you have nothing else. You're not educated. You're not accomplished. You're not interesting. So you latch onto this nonsense because it gives you identity. It makes you feel superior to a woman who, objectively, is out of your league in every category. Intellect, beauty, work ethic, character, status, bank account, taste, vocabulary, you name it. She's on the cover of magazines. You're in the comments of hate forums. She's feeding her children. You're foaming at the mouth about a bump that you saw blurry in screenshots from 2019. You are not well. And let's address the racism too. Because you didn't say shit about Kate's pregnancies. Nobody accused her of wearing padding. You gave her bump the royal treatment, literally. But when it's Meghan, suddenly she's trying to scam the monarchy, the doctors, the Queen, MI6, and your Aunt Carol from Oklahoma. The math isn't mathing, and the bias is screaming. So let me be very clear. You're not a skeptic. You're not a truth seeker. You are not just asking questions. You are unstable, classless, low IQ, white-knuckled lunatics who traded in your dignity for conspiracy theory and a Facebook badge. Meghan's not wearing a bump. You're wearing delusion, and it doesn't look good on you. So next time you want to accuse a woman of faking 2 pregnancies just because she intimidates you, maybe ask yourself why. That lie makes you feel safe, because that's what this really is about. You can't handle the truth that a black woman outshined your monarchy, and you've never recovered. Now shut the hell up, wipe the drool off your hairy chin, and go touch some grass.
Wow, this is why the squad likes him. Okay, to believe the Meghan Moon bump story is to believe that a British London-based hospital and their entire maternity unit staff colluded with an American to deceive the royal family and the British public. Not only that, but a US hospital and its staff did the same 2 years later. Dumb. Alright, that Meghan is so dominant that she was able to fool the UK intel. I'm telling you, they're making her so powerful. She is powerful in her own right, but the way that they're making it is like she has some magical powers to do some stuff. UK royal family, the royal voters, the UK tabloid, UK news media, the derangers, etc. Pray tell, why was Meghan savage for cuddling her baby bump? Why was she chided for her baby shower in the US in December 2019? Okay, when you dig a little deeper to why they think Meghan could have had children of her own, it gets even crazier. Some of those nutcases actually believe Meghan had a child when she was under the age of 10. What? And that rendered her infertile. They really are effing deranged. This conspiracy theory is absolutely disgusting. If you ask the same people on whether everyone in the UK and the royal family, UK government, doctors are in on this lie, they won't respond and will likely block you. There's that. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. I don't know, these people are crazy. And that's a TikTok video. Okay, so there's that here. Her Royal Highness Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, Princess Meghan, Sussex, doing the work of God without fear. God continue to bless the House of Sussex and all like-minded people who show up and do good. 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah. Not surprised. And there's more out there. There's more Royal Palace staffers who are following Meghan. You just don't know them by name, so of course they go under the radar. And we can't see Meghan's list of people who follow her, but she knows. Somebody asked me a good question, and I didn't answer it, so I'll answer it right now. Why wouldn't they just do this from a burner account? Because they want Meghan to know they're watching her. That's a veiled threat. We're watching you, bitch. You don't believe me? Look at the baby mama video. We just so happen to be doing a reenactment of that on the stairs of Buckingham Palace.
That's right.
Okay, but we're not paying attention to what Meghan and Harry are doing. Megsy and has been. Okay, sure. And all I gotta say is, you know, a lot of you think this is innocent and it's a whole lot of ado about nothing, but I just want you all to not play into the British media's game of pretending like peace summits are happening. They're not. A comms team meeting is just that. It's business, it's communication. It is not a family reunion. Family reunions happen when the families themselves all get together. That is not what's happening, and that's not what happened. But they're going to run this into the freaking ground for the next 2 years. Oh, Harry's considering coming back part-time, 1 foot in Britain, the other one in Montecito, and he's going to see what he's been missing out on, and he's going to divorce Meghan and abandon her and the kids. Like, get ready for a lot of stories like that until Birmingham. You've been warned. You've been warned not to take the bait. But Constantine following Meghan didn't surprise me. That's why I said I would have loved if we would have gotten Natasha's full follow list before she cleaned house. Because that would have taken us into a very, very deep rabbit hole that if all of us would just see the octopus operation that is going on, where all of them are have cameras and surveillance on Meghan. yeah. Terrible times. Anyway, but complete vindication for Harry and Meghan. We kind of figured that this was going on. They said it was going on. Nobody wanted to believe it. Do you believe it now? Anyway, you guys have an amazing week. We'll talk later. Bye.
All right. Let's see here. Let's pause. Okay. Oh, no, that's the same thing on TikTok. I'm not going to go into it. They are not spying on Meghan for nothing. They want to instill fear in her, throw her off her game, and upset her life. They are very, very dangerous, and Harry is acutely aware of it. Such the need to block every one of them. All right, let's get to the next one. God is good. We just leave that to God. And Harry and Meghan continue to do that thing. Because if Harry and Meghan were to paying attention to them, they would not be where they at doing all those successful things. For them, they wanted Harry and Meghan to suffer. Okay, I'll never forget those 2 sketches that I came across where Harry's working at McDonald's and then begging on the street. This is what they want. These people are evil. They are savage. They want people to suffer. God help us. This is like, let me keep that thought to myself. Next week. Loose Woman star Denise Welch explained why she fiercely defends Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex against media attacks and royal double standard. I'm not going to read that article. I just wanted to share that with you. And I think there's another one regarding that. Okay, thank you. Facts delivered without malice. Denise Welch. The hype focus on this woman is weird. It's like you're studying her like a cage animal, so weird, and your listeners seems to getting orgasmic delight over watching someone bully and hate talk about this one woman. Meghan really has you laugh in a chokehold. Fascinating. All right, what is that? Oh, I don't want to go to that. That's when they explain people's putting toothpaste for Charles. All right, so there's a lot of other videos, so let's pause that. What is that? How much is Marco paying him to this today? This nobody care enough to do anything about that. CBS News, November 22. Alright, so there's a lot of other videos. I don't want to focus on that. I wanted to focus on this. Alright, so there's another one making reference to it, to that lady. Was it Denise Welch? Is that her name? Welsh. Okay, she said what she said. I wish I came across the video. There's the okay, so there's this I will share. Okay, maybe that as well. Okay, so let's go over this. She said what she said. All right, there's that. Denise Welch, and she was so smooth with it too. Okay, let's pause this. That's an ad, forget that. I always like her. May she never lack nothing. A soap actress praises a soap actress. Alright, Harry never cheated on his wife, but guess who did? Love this woman. Oh, so that's where this came from. Okay. And she smooths with who she smoothes. Okay, so that's them. Okay, so these are extra. Alright, so there's that. Let me add this to the list. These are extra. I just came across them while I'm doing this recording. Okay, so I just added 4 more to the list. This one will be completely last. Okay, so I did this, and this I put it, but we're not gonna go over that yet. We're gonna focus on these 2. Let's focus on Denise Welch. So this is okay, let's pause. This is what happened here. This is the original, and then this person retweeted this one. Okay, so when I go into that, I'm not gonna go into this again. So let's go into that first. Hopefully I explained correctly. One of the things we need to be careful here. I believe this is a US show. Now with the Trump type of mentality here, trying to control the media, so they're inching into the US media. And then let's not forget as well, this woman, I know the squad are praising her for saying really the truth, clapping and receiving her comment really well. Just wait, okay? Just wait until things change again, because it's almost like this other like a couple of weeks ago, I think it was before I went on vacation, she said something. The squad were, really applauding her and, do a lot of tweet and thanking her for standing up for whatever. And then next thing you know, something happened. I don't remember what it was. So, it's like we're putting people on pedestal when they should be doing, for saying the simplest normal thing. All right, Harry and Meghan didn't do anything. It's those evil doers who push them out, and then they expect the rest of the world to be on their side. They, meaning the evil doers, to continue on bashing on them. And I hope God put some light into people. Okay, so let's do this. Thank you, real Denise Welch, for calling out the despicable bullying of Meghan. Quote, but I just think that the amount of bullying by the press, British and American, that woman gets, it's like, what has she really done, And every single day, she is battered. 1 minute and 32 seconds.
Jasmine M. wants to know the current opinion that the UK general public has of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And can you speak on behalf of your fellow countrymen?
Well, I have a very different view to a lot of people, and on the show that I do at home, Loose Women, I'm like the only person who flies the Harry and Meghan flag, and I don't know them. I've met a few of the royals over the years, but I've never met them. But
okay, she make it clear she met other royal family, but never met Meghan, and we see the pictures of her with Camilla and all of that. She's a public figure. She does things. She can't really. I guess some people are trying to say, look, she's hanging with the Camilla and all of that, but she still hold her own views. But, she works, she has to make money, and who has full control over there. All right, the royal family, but she's still saying her opinion. All right, but let me rewind it slightly.
Jasmine M. wants to know the current opinion that the UK general public has of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And can you speak on behalf of your fellow countrymen?
Well, I have a very different view to a lot of people, and on the show that I do at home, Loose Women, I'm like the only person who flies the Harry and Meghan flag, and I don't know them. I've met a few of the royals over the years, but I've never met them. But I just think that the amount of bullying by the press, British and American, that woman gets. Remember, she was in those rooms, a lot of them, as a young black American woman. She had a big voice in UNICEF and in the United Nations. She was in a lot of those rooms before Harry. And I just kind of try to fly the flag a bit. You've got to remember that this is a boy who was forced at 12 years old to walk behind his mother's coffin. His dad had been unfaithful. And he grew up in that world. And I think for him to want to say his piece is something quite admirable, and so I kind of think that they're in love. He's never been unfaithful to her. The abuse she got for saying that she was mentally ill. I suffered severe postnatal depression, hospitalized after I had Matthew. So I really empathize and sympathize with somebody who was open about that, and she got ridiculed and hated. It's like, what has she really done?
Right.
And every single day she is battered. So I just...
Good answer.
Good. Very good. As long as she's saying the truth, that's it. She's saying she never met Meghan and Harry. Just there it is. Okay, let's see here. And the thing is, many people share her exact sentiment, but don't have a platform where let's pause. Where they don't have a platform where their voice can reach thousands to millions like real Denise Welch can. Very admirable of her to continuously call out the ridiculous bullying of Meghan. Karma will be kind to her. That's for sure. Well said. And the other thing is, and she mentioned Charles. Charles probably really didn't expect that as well. That Charles cheated. Okay, and the walking behind the mother's casket and all of that. It's refreshing to hear a British journalist speaks the truth. Okay, it makes a nice change. Dennis is unofficially a squatty. I'm not gonna go that far. It's just reality, speaking the truth. I'm not going that far and put her on a pedestal for speaking the truth. And then the royal family, when the squad start elevating, talking positive about someone like her, and then the royal family go after her. So we need to be very careful of this. Okay, we thank her for saying the truth. That's it. Let's leave it as that. Okay, love her. She is the best. Okay, see, there's the pictures they're showing. She did say she met many of the royal family. There it is. She wasn't lying. I give her credit where it's due for just saying it as it is. Okay, as it is. That being said, I will also call her when she does something like this. This was in April when she went over the top with her laughing and the president of Camilla, who is friends with two biggest abusers of the MS in the UK. She's the business person. She does what she had to do. Let me leave her alone. This is why I'm like, I'm not gonna put her in a pedestal for saying the truth. Let's go to the next tweet. It's a retweet of this. I'm not coming back into that. It's a retweet of that, but someone created a different caption. That's why I'm going to it. Okay, let's pause this. Okay, I'm so sick of Meghan being bullied, and I agree. What has she done that's so bad? Okay, let's see here. She has the audacity to walk away from the firm. They expect her to be grateful and tolerate the abuse, yet they are happy and thriving. But the thing is that the royal family kicked them out, kicked Harry out.
Began to address Granny about the 5 options. Your Majesty, you've seen the 5 options? Yes, she said. We all had. They'd been emailed to us. 5 different ways of proceeding. Option 1 was continuance of the status quo. Meg and I don't leave. Everyone tries to go back to normal. Option 5 was full severance. No royal role, no working for Granny, and total loss of security. Option 3 was somewhere in between, a compromise, closest to what we'd originally proposed. I told everyone assembled that, above all, I was desperate to keep security. That was what worried me most, my family's physical safety. I wanted to prevent a repeat of history, another untimely death like the one that had rocked this family to its core 23 years earlier, and from which we were still trying to recover. I'd consulted with several palace veterans, people who knew the inner workings of the monarchy and its history, and they all said option 3 was best for all parties. Meg and I living elsewhere part of the year, continuing our work, retaining security, returning to Britain for charities, ceremonies, events. Sensible solution, these palace veterans said, and eminently doable. But the family, of course, pushed me to take option 1. Barring that, they would only accept option 5. We discussed the 5 options for nearly an hour. At last, the bee got up and went round the table, handing out a draft of a statement the palace would soon be releasing, announcing implementation of option 5. Wait, I'm confused. You've already drafted a statement? Before any discussion? Announcing option 5? In other words, the fix was in this whole time? This summit was just for show? No answer.
Harry and Meghan had said to Oprah interview, they would have stayed if they got the support.
So in conclusion, if you'd had the support, you'd still be there?
Without question.
Yeah.
I'm sad that what's happened has happened, but I know, and I'm comfortable knowing that we did everything that we could to make it work, and we did everything on the exit process the way that it should have been
with
done.
As much respect.
With as much
and,
respect.
Oh my God, we just did everything we could to protect them.
There was no support for them to stay. They kicked them out. So she left. It's not her fault. And then the institution want people to believe it's her who left and then to take Harry along with. I mean, these people are full-blown crazy. Everything that Harry and Meghan are in now is the choice of the royal family. They made the choice for them. And then once they leave, Harry and Meghan left, they made the best of the decision the royal family did. Okay? She has been treated worse than pedophile and murderers. That's for sure. I mean, this is very sad. This is the dark place. I think I'm going to put this video into 2 parts. If you look at the beginning of the video where I started talking, things that I was seeing and all of that, unscripted, just me talking, okay? These are the things, the dark place they want people to be in. They make good look bad. They make bad look good. They elevate the bad. I mean, we are in a dark place. I think our great-grandkids will not forgive us for what we have done, the choices that we are making now. And we have plenty of time to change, to make it better. And then many of these things then have to be. So many people have fought to put us in a place where we could have elevated to a better place, to a better world, but they listen to the devil, and the devil glorifies stupidity, and people fall for it. It's very sad. The lady has done nothing the court don't like men or women who outshine the Yorkshire in London. Meghan done just that. She's a strong, independent, intellectual woman. They don't like that. And the partner of royal family, you have to be dumbed down. Okay, this is why they want her to be 50% less of herself.
Told, been given advice that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Okay, this is an ad, so these two and that's it. Unfortunately, but fortunately, she refused to play the game and they are hell-bent on destroying her. God is good. It's not gonna happen. Alright, Denise Welch has made Camilla. Yeah, but it's part of her job. She said she met many of the royal family. They are part of the UK system. Okay, so now we're gonna do JTB that I just saw. Alright, let's pause. It's 2 minutes and 14 seconds. This woman got on camera and told Meghan Markle, what? There's the word here. What? Baggage for God. Then call it a joke. You can't say things like this. You have a freaking platform. My God. This is the thing I don't understand with some of these people. Then call it a joke. It's not a joke. It's a death threat. And it's disgusting how normalized this kind of hate has become. It's sick. This is what I'm saying. The dark place we are in. And she looks young. I don't know if she has any kids. But this is what I was just saying without even seeing this. Our great-grandkids will not forgive us for the way we are moving forward in our time right now. Because it seems like every choices that we are making is for the worse. Alright, let's listen.
Meghan Markle is dying to be Princess Diana, but there's nothing you can do to be like her. There's only one thing you can do. Bitch. Princess just kidding.
You sat there,
What the
dead in the
hell?
eyes, full face of expired makeup, and
Let's do a prayer for this. This is unbelievable. Prayer for protection. Trying to be like Princess Diana. Meghan is her own. Just like that lady from Loose Women said. She's been doing a lot of things before Harry. Oh my God. The sickness in these people. Protection prayer for daughter. Okay, I just choose this like that. Yeah, for daughter. Dear Lord, we come to you today with a humble heart, asking for your protection and guidance for our daughter. We ask that you surround her with your love and grace. Keep her safe from all harm. We pray that you protect her from relegation, deception, lies, and failure. Give her the wisdom and discernment to recognize truth from falsehood and the strength to resist any temptation to stray from your path. We trust your goodness and faithfulness and know you are always watching over her. In Jesus' name, amen. This is unbelievable. I just don't understand why people feel this way. Okay, let's continue. I'm not gonna rewind it.
dead in the eyes, full face of expired makeup, and said what you said to Meghan, and tried to backpedal with just kidding? That was a tacky attempt at excusing it as a joke. That was a hate crime on camera. I'm surprised TikTok hasn't flagged it, or more people haven't reported it yet. Let's keep it all the way real. Meghan receives thousands of death threats. Not shade, not trolling. Actual reported death threats. And here you are, gleefully adding fuel to the fire, like the sick nobody you are. She's not Diana? You're right. Diana died running from people like you. Meghan survived. She said no to that rotten family and said yes to freedom. And now you're shaking like a chihuahua. She's not a celebrity? Then why are you pressed? Why are you foaming at the mouth at someone you swear no one cares about? Because deep down inside, she's everything you're not. Classy, beautiful, intelligent, powerful, and most of all, relevant. Meghan breathes and the world reacts. You scream and nothing. Just echo. Disappear like Amber Heard. You're obsessed with disappearing women. It's giving misogyny. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. You don't want privacy from Meghan. You want erasure. Because her existence makes you feel small, insignificant, tacky, classless. And it should. And don't fake concern about her children. Not while calling her pregnancy fake. You don't know whether you're coming or going. You spread conspiracy theories. You're not worried about her kids. You're furious she has them. You're mad she built a life you can't even screenshot. So while Meghan has an incredible legacy, here's yours. Hate speech, pathetic, unhinged, and completely irrelevant. Meghan's fine. Meghan's rich. Meghan's protected. You're just another statistic. Now, go wash your hair, log off, and rot.
This is crazy. Okay, this is her. That's the tag here. I'm sure the FBI will be more than, not right now, the kind of FBI we have right now. Just baggage for God for now. Will be more than interesting to know why she is inciting hatred and, in my opinion, violence toward an American citizen. Report her. She needs to be reported. Let's pause that. Where do these dumb silly sickles come from? Is this a man or a woman? Why are there so many sad jealous women in the world who hate themselves? This one going to die alone. Let's leave that alone. Okay, reported that tough donkey jaw. Okay, I don't want to go to all that. Even though she said her thing, I'm not about calling people's name. A joke she proclaimed. What exactly is funny about declaring and pronouncing the death of another person for whom one has zero relationship? Meghan is not a politician. She didn't enact any laws. She didn't abuse the gibbet. Yet she was comfortable manifesting death wish to Meghan. Baggage for God. That was extremely hateful and bold considering the government has locked up people for less. Where are her shackles? Okay, I blame the royal family for these people. This is what they're doing, spreading hate. You know, let the people fight among themselves so they could remain into power. They didn't shut this shit down from the start and help foment this level of hate and vitriol. They contribute to it with their lying and leaking. Meghan doesn't deserve any of this, and I hope the royal family answer to it in this life or next. Alright, they're not gonna do anything in this life because look at this. With I think in video 1, I think I'm gonna cut this into a couple parts, is that the soccer players, that black woman, they didn't even bother putting it in the poster, and then Charles going shaking people's hand. Once he reached black people, he skipped them. So all of this baggage for God. They want to be God. They're trying to control what God have put out naturally, and they want to control it. So, God, you have all the power. You create heaven and earth. These people are yours to deal with. Because this life, I don't think this is the way you want it to be. Life should not be about pain. Okay, even our own body. I've said this many times before. Past videos. You get a cut on your finger. Minor cut. The moment you get that cut, your body's already act in a way where to protect and preserve your body so things don't come in. Okay? Life should not be in pain, but these people are inflicting, deliberately going out of their way to inflict pain, teaching kids at young age in school how to hate other group. So God, all this is a baggage for you, because those evil, I don't know how do you deal with this evil mind? Packages, this is for you to deal with. And I mean, before, oh my God, you see what's on the screen. Let me move on. I have 2, 4, 5 more, and then that'll be it. Okay, you see these, and let's move on.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.